Alrighty.
Is it on?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Alright, you're good. I'll get it out. All right. So, oh, mm, here we are. All right, you ready?
Yep.
So, every episode, I have an entrance. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then we'll, get into it. Welcome back to another episode of the Highlight Reel. And I have a guest today, another special guest for Women's History Month. I'm going to go ahead and let her introduce herself. So go ahead, my friend.
Hello, my name is Hannah Robinson.
Mm-hmm. What do you
That's
do?
it. I'm a realtor
Mm-hmm.
with Keller Williams.
All right. Where are you from? Like, stuff like that?
I'm from Cleve. That's a lie. I'm from a suburb.
Okay.
Before everybody comes for me, I'm from Painesville, Ohio, next to Perry, but I'm from Cleveland because nobody knows where that's at.
And where'd you go to school?
I went to Kent State University.
Yes. All right, cool. So, on this episode, obviously, I just want to kind of get to, I mean, I know who you are, but like, kind of explain some of your backstory, and we're going to definitely talk about the being a realtor, because people need to get up on game about that. And kind of how your life has been since you graduated, because you graduated before I did. So it's like, I know how it's affecting me, but I'd also like to see how, even being a year further removed from that, maybe how it's been affecting you. So I would actually say, like, let's go ahead and start with that. So how have you been just as a person recently since you graduated?
I've been good. I think the transition outward, I didn't know what to expect, because I knew a lot of people say, like, typically your friends from college, they don't stick around, or like the vibe, not vibe, but like the friendships, they become a little bit different because everybody goes back to either their places where they grew up from, or they move to different states and whatnot. So just transitioning into that and figuring out what I actually want to do, and realizing that I don't have that structure of classes in the morning and then going to like org meetings and then coming back to my dorm around people, because after I graduated, I moved right into an apartment, and it's like after work, 9 to 5, you go straight home by yourself. It's like, damn, like,
So
where my friends at?
So you missed that structure.
I think I just missed the kind of social life, because you just felt like you were all doing it together.
Yeah.
And now you're kind of on your own path, trying to figure out like where you want to be in life and what career path you actually want to take. Whether that be in the major that you were actually in, or something completely different, or going to get your master's. So.
Yeah, I would agree, because I was saying, I feel like I've been realizing that I think a part of the reason why I do a lot is to kind of set something for myself. It's like, let me try to give myself some kind of structure outside of just work, because I know it's really easy to kind of just go to work, be exhausted by work, and then you don't want to do anything else. And that can, like, work can provide a structure, but then it's like when you have a day off, you want to just relax, which I also understand, but I like trying to give myself something to do to keep me productive outside of my job, because like technically I'm working on somebody else's dream. Let me at least work on mine. So yeah, so you missed that structure. So do you do anything to give yourself a structure outside of work?
I guess I just stay really active in different things. So like my church, I volunteer with my church, help with hot meals. I'm part of like the executive board, I guess you can say, for my church.
Okay.
What else? I attend a lot of real estate events.
Okay. Networking,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you say you serve, like you do community service, kind of something like that.
Yeah, for like my church, I do like hot meals. So we just make hot meals for either homeless or anyone that wants to come through and get some hot meals.
And you do that often?
Every other Monday.
Okay, that's see, I don't do community service or anything like that as often, but every time I do it, it is very fulfilling. So is that something that you would say is a very fulfilling experience for you whenever you do it? Especially doing it at least that consistently, knowing every other Monday you're going to do it. Because for most people, it's like, I'll do it whenever. But for you, it's like, at least twice a month I do this.
Yeah, I love it, because it's like you're giving back to your community. You get to be around the people that you fellowship with. And it's like just another way to get to know each other better. And we talk about different ways we can help improve the church, and different events that we can do to help raise money for different things. So like, for example, we're trying to get rid of the pews there because they're older, and get newer chairs. So we're raising money for that. So.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting. Okay. And then, so I want to keep on this college. So what did you what have you been doing with what you studied? Have you been doing anything with what you studied in college? You can be honest.
No.
No? What did you study?
I went in for business management and I
Okay.
double minored in Pan African Studies and Economics. So I guess kind of.
I'm gonna say, like, I feel like you're doing something with
Kind
the
of.
business management, at least a little bit.
I mean, I was always in housing, so I used a lot of like the entrepreneurial like classes that they gave us,
Mhm.
or like speaking classes, and just know like the foundations of business and like the internal affairs and whatnot. So logistic wise, but okay, I guess I did use my major, but
Yeah. Right.
but I'm in housing, so when I think about housing, I think about like helping somebody find their lease, or just talking to someone and persuading them, or helping them understand like how we can help them and give them resources and stuff like that. So
Because it's funny you say you're in housing and we were both RAs. So, I mean, I feel like you kind of are using almost a lot of the stuff that
Yeah.
you did. Because I tend to forget I was even an RA in college sometimes.
I forgot to.
But it's like, it's just cool to see that, because that's another way of giving back, what you say that you've been doing. And it's easy, like you said, it's easy to forget some of those things that you were already doing or have done. But then, like, when you get reminded, it's like, oh, yeah, you know what? I actually am continuing to do that. You just, sometimes it might take somebody else to tell you that you've been doing that.
Right.
So, yeah, I respect that. And then, so how often do you ever feel like kind of low or like lonely since you graduated?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I got my cat.
Yeah.
So when I was still living in Kent, because I
Yeah.
used to be in student housing out there. I would just like I would get up at either 4:45 or 5 a.m. and go to the gym and be there for like an hour, hour and a half. Come home, get ready, go to work from 9 to 5 or like 9 to 6 or even 9 to 7 if they needed me. And then I would come home and I'd be like, what the hell am I doing now? Like, what's the next thing I'm going to do? Like,
So you gave yourself a son.
Yep. I bought a son. I bought a son. Because it's like you come home by yourself.
Shoot.
But I have Bink, so when I had Bink, he would like run up to the door just meowing and being happy.
Mhm.
So you got something coming back happy to you, or you know what I mean?
And actually, the more I think about it, I feel like a lot of my friends that I went to college with that live on their own have pets now. I didn't even think about that. It's like we're all feeling that. It's like,
Yes.
man, I would love something. It's like, let me, because I mean, it gives you responsibility. It can
Yeah.
kind of give you some sort of routine, and it gives you it gives you
It does.
something to care for outside of yourself. And I'm literally just now thinking about that. It's like, you have a pet, and I can name at least 3 other people that have pets, and I'm like, why would you do that? To me, I'm like, that is. It took me forever to realize that once you gain a pet, you gain a child, essentially. Because if you ever want to go on vacation, and we'll talk about that in a second, whenever you want to go on vacation, you basically have to get somebody to watch your child and everything. I'm like, why would you do that? But now I get it, because it's like it gives like a sense of comfort, and it's like, all right, I have someone to take care of, and it gives you a very fulfilling feeling.
Yeah,
So
it's my little bestie. So.
your little bestie, that's funny. All right. And then let's kind of get into the well, actually, let's talk about your recent vacation to the Philippines. How was that?
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, my mom and brother traveled together, and I was last minute getting my tickets because I was debating on going like a 2 weeks, 1 week, or a month. 'Cause usually we go for a month.
Yeah.
But I was so worried about my jobs. I was like, I can't leave. Like, I'm a newer agent. I can't leave. And what if a client calls me and I need to do something? And it was just stressful. So my mom just went ahead and bought the ticket for me anyway.
Okay.
So she was like, you're going for a month.
And you was okay. So how was that? Like, how was the weather difference, the cultural difference from when you're usually here?
The weather, obviously, it's like cold over here.
Oh, I'm about to say, like, don't say it's cold over there.
No, it's cold
It
here.
didn't look cold over there. Okay.
So as soon as you land in the Philippines, like I started taking off my sweatshirt. I had shorts underneath. I took
Yeah.
my sweatpants off, and it's
Yeah.
like you just there. You just in
Nah.
hot weather.
So
It's
like
beautiful.
it's really humid over there.
Yeah, right now because it's rainy season.
Okay. And then like what was, I guess, the most fulfilling part about being over? Because I know every time we talk about the Philippines, it's like you like light up because
Yeah.
you are Filipino and African American. So it's like how would you say knowing your cultural background like that has kind of impacted who you are as a person and how you show up in the world?
Mm-hmm.
How would you explain?
I think for me, even though of course like I'm African American, but I
Yeah.
think in America it's such a Eurocentric mindset. Like you're just like you're individualistic,
Mm-hmm.
and in the Philippines you're just around family all the time, like 24/7, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm used to. It's like it's a whole different culture. My bad.
Yeah, you're good.
It's a whole different culture, and it's like we all take care of each other, and you just feel. I don't even know. It's like you feel more free. Like I feel like more myself.
There?
Yeah. Because you're just around everybody. Like everybody is not.
It's just familial.
Yeah,
over
it's
there.
not like they're only thinking about themselves. Like if somebody's eating, they make sure everybody else at the table eats. Like if they have like one roll of bread, like a roll, they're
they'll
gonna split it like 15 ways if they can.
Wow.
To make sure everybody eats. Because if not, it's like why would I just one person eat and everybody else just staring at me? You know what I mean?
Oh man. Okay, so whenever you go to, because you were also in the STARS program, so whenever you go to the Philippines, does it ever make you think of anything that you learned in STARS? As far as like the family dynamic, non-Eurocentric views that you were basically just talking about, like more of a collectivistic culture, is it?
Yeah,
See
yeah.
parallels
In
there?
a sense, yeah. I just think it brings it even more deeper. And the thing that I think a lot of people don't realize is like in some Asian cultures, and specifically like for Filipinos, I think we overlap with African American cultures too. Like we're all together, we're kind of homey, like familial, and it's like I think it's kind of the same values.
Okay.
It's just it's like a different twist to it
Huh.
or a spin. That's how I feel.
Because it's like, I just see, because as you were saying, it's everybody kind of worries about each other instead of where in America it seems like everyone is for themselves, which there are pros, and I'm not saying one is necessarily better than the other, but I see, since I live in a Eurocentric worldview, I think hearing more of a collectivistic like perspective from whatever country, whatever nation that is, I love to hear about that because I don't really experience that. It's like, yes, I'm a family person, right? Like I would say I love family, but it's hard for me to deny that I feel like I have to handle me and what I'm doing with my life to be able to help my family. Whereas it seems like over there, it's like we worry about each other like entirely the whole time,
Right.
and then raise up together, which I'm like, it makes sense, but it's hard for me to live in that perspective because that's not how I grew up. So it's I like for you to be able to go back and experience that. I always love hearing about that from people because I think that's like very fulfilling. And then how you were saying that since you graduated, it's like you used to live with your friends, you had that structure, but at least when you go there, it's like the feeling of family is just something that helps you just bubble up as a person.
Right, yeah. You wake up and your cousin right there. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, what we about to do?
So, what all did you do when you were out there?
So within the first week is my, Lola, means my grandmother, but we call her Mama Hapun because she's mixed with, Japanese.
Okay.
And my grandfather, he's, Chinese on his side. So,
Okay.
but she could call her Mama Hapun because she looks Japanese. But we're celebrating her 75th birthday, so we did that. And then basically when we do like the big gatherings for her birthday, it's essentially for her, like celebrating our family because our family's well known in the Philippines, but we feed the community.
Your
So,
family's well known in the Philippines?
I mean, in the like village or the compound that we live in, so in that area. But my aunt has like this big old business that everybody knows her for. But we just basically feed our community. We make sure everybody is fed.
So when you go home, like, is it like a big old like welcoming, something like that? Yeah. Why you say it like that? Like, yeah, I'm kind of big. You know what I mean? Nah, that's. I think that's. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So, wow. So it's like a big. So when you get there, it's like you see a lot of people just waiting on you, just happy to see you.
Yeah, so definitely like all of our family and cousins and whatnot. We have like over 100 cousins, and that's just like first.
But you like actually see them all at once, type.
We try to.
Yeah.
But they're scattered everywhere. So.
Okay, I'm about to say you probably see more of them, at least in one spot there than you would here.
Yeah.
I'm guessing. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. All right. And then, so I kind of want to bring it back to your life here. So you work a lot, right?
Yeah, I'm tired.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay. So what all is it that you do?
So I am a waitress for my friend's restaurant, and I really enjoy it because I like talking to people,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it gives me a different way to connect with somebody and learn more, and also to network with them for real estate. So that's what I utilize it for.
Smart.
So typically my days, I wake up, I do real estate, and then I'll be like, okay, maybe I should get ready for my other job. So I'll waitress from like 6 p.m. until 1 or 2, and then weekends typically like 3 or 4 a.m.
Mm. Wait, so like, do you get off days? You do, but it don't
Sometimes.
feel like it.
Okay, so like Monday, typically we have Monday off, but last Monday was a Cavs game, so we did a Cavs dinner, and I had to be there
for for serving, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, as a waitress, yeah.
Okay.
So we were. I can't. He just looks funny. He just saying.
You're good.
My bad. But yeah, so I'm waitress on Monday. I only had Tuesday, Wednesday off.
Yeah.
But typically, I told him I can work like Wednesday through Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to do less, but it's kind of hard.
Why is it hard?
Because I like the money.
So.
But it's like I want to focus more on real estate. But
Okay.
I try to be really structured. You know how structured I am. I try to be really structured in my time. So I dedicate like 8 or 9 hours to real estate, and then switch it up, and then go straight into waitressing.
Ooh, that's a grind.
And then wake back up and do the same thing.
That's a grind. I know about a grind, but that's a grind. But what is it that got you? What was it that got you into real estate in the first place?
Honestly, I would say like being an RA.
Oh, okay.
That's
Explain
the
that.
crazy thing,
'Cause I feel like we kind of touched on that.
Yeah, because I liked it because I was over like 34 girls.
Yeah.
Did I remember all their names? No, I never did. But it was fun being like kind of like the head person, taking care of them and watching over them.
Yeah.
And then when I started moving off campus, I got my position as a community assistant.
I remember that.
Yeah, for student housing.
Mm-hmm.
Graduated, I went to luxury housing as a leasing professional. You know, like the Lumen downtown.
Okay. Wow.
Worked there.
Okay.
And I ended up leaving because I felt like they weren't giving me the money that I deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to, I don't know if I said, the province. Yeah, I worked back at the province as a leasing and marketing manager.
Yeah.
So it was fun because that's the kind of aspect.
Wait, so you left them, went somewhere else, then you went back?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, because
okay.
a new position opened so I can be a manager.
Okay.
So I wanted to have that experience.
So you've progressively been like helping people within housing in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that is what basically led to you wanting to be into realty.
Yeah, but I couldn't afford the classes for real estate.
Okay.
So the person who I got to sign a lease at the Lumen, I guess he was looking for me. It was like December, like 1 or 2 months out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, where did Hannah go? Like, I need to find Hannah. Like, what? I need to talk to Hannah for.
Yeah.
So he ended up finding my Instagram. He was like, I need to meet with you. So I'm like, okay, I'll meet with you.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if that probably wasn't smart, but I did anyway.
Okay.
And then he basically asked me what I wanted to do when I grow up.
Mm-hmm.
Or
and
like,
you said?
Real estate.
Okay.
And he told me to go home, figure out like what classes or how like to start that. And I told him, he was like, okay, how much is it? I was like, it's like $1,700
Oh, to get like all the certifications and all that stuff?
to like begin the classes and then get all the books that I need and then like the CompuCram and all the stuff to study for it. And he was like, okay, well, I'm gonna send you the money for it, and then you just take the class.
Oh,
like,
who is this again? Who is this?
My friend.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
So it's good to have friends, great friends.
It's good to connect.
Wow.
Connect
Okay.
with people.
So continue. So you got the books and everything.
Yeah, and then I took the classes online because of COVID,
Mm.
and I actually waited a year to take the exam because I was terrified that I was gonna fail.
Mm.
But I should have just took it.
Because you...
I passed the first try. So I wasted a year, and I'm really mad at myself. But things happen for a reason.
Yeah. So was it... Well, how would you describe the test? Like, I'm guessing it was hard, or did you feel very prepared since you had that year?
No, oh,
I mean, you
kinda,
passed it.
okay, yeah,
you passed
I passed.
it.
But the thing is, like, I didn't really study like the whole year. I studied for like
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
2 months really hard, and then the night before, I didn't sleep at all. I slept for like 45 minutes, and then I went to go take the exam.
So
And then I prayed. I was like, God, please tell me.
Sounds like some college
test.
stuff, man. That's
Yeah.
like what you do in college. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you learned since you started, your path in realty? What have you learned about the basically the career of being a realtor? What have you learned about that? And then what have you learned that are some of the biggest misconceptions about it?
I think the biggest thing that I learned in my first year of real estate is you don't always have to follow like what they taught you in the books and whatnot. It sounds funny because it's what you need to learn, but I was so scared to lose my license because they teach you like if you mess up or you do this something wrong, you're gonna lose your license. That was my biggest fear. But it's like everybody makes mistakes because one contract will never be same as the other one. Like for example, my first contract, the listing agent basically bullied me because I was a newer agent, and she read the contract wrong, and she thought that I put a different date in there, so she yelled at me for it, and then she realized she was wrong, and then we have to change the agreement and add addendums and whatnot to help out like the buyer and seller, and it's like you never know what you're gonna get into.
So when you talk about this contract, did you write the contract?
Yeah, so like you
Dang.
you add into the contract, you make addendums, and basically you just really have to protect the client, your client, and just try to get their best interest. But for me, I think what made me wait a year to actually take the exam is the fact that I'm handling somebody's real money.
Yeah.
Like a down payment, mortgage, closing costs, all of it is different from apartments.
Yeah.
So it's just scary. It's a whole different.
Because you feel like you kind of have somebody's life in your hands?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's a big commitment.
It is. But,
So I was terrified.
I mean, you passed the test, and I know you've had some success with it. So it's like, I think those are very encouraging signs for you to continue with it. And then what are some of the, you said that was like the biggest thing you learned. What are some of the biggest misconceptions that you've learned since you started working in real estate?
I would say one that I really realized, like a lot of people think that if they have bad credit, they can't get a house. You can still get a house if you don't have good credit. I mean, if you got 400, don't try to buy a house. You're just gonna get a house. But if you have like a 550 and up, you're gonna be fine. Like there's different programs that we have. Like one of my clients, we're getting him through something called the Divvy program. So essentially, if you want to do Divvy and you're looking for a house, talk to me. But if you're doing the Divvy program, so essentially, it's like a rent-to-own program. So Divvy buys the home cash. So you look more favorable than somebody that does conventional or FHA for buying a home. And
you look more convinced. So it looks better when you buy it cash. Why? Can you explain that?
You just buying it with cash, like outright, like Divvy buys
Oh,
it.
like okay. Like you're not paying it off. It's like you straight, like you got it, and
yeah.
you got
So
it. Okay.
the program buys the house for you, but you pay the program itself. So you rent the house for however long, and then you eventually pay off the rest.
Okay.
So you get the home, and let's say if you don't like it for whatever reason, like you pay like 2% back for like a relisting fee for Divvy.
Okay.
So you're not really stuck with it, but you're still gonna have like a cost associated with it if you don't follow through with the home.
Okay. So you said that credit doesn't necessarily have to be the biggest or as big of an obstacle as people think it is.
Yeah.
It might not be. That's
Right.
one of the biggest
It's
misconceptions.
definitely important. You want to build your credit up because you'll have more buying power.
Of course.
But I wouldn't say it's like a deal breaker. So there's different things you can do to improve your credit score. And there's like people who you can talk to that can help you build your credit or remove things from your credit that they can. Or like the program itself, like Divvy, rent to own, they'll take care of it for you, and then you can eventually buy the home from them.
Wow. So would you kind of look at this as your way of giving back in a way? Because like you, yeah. Go ahead, explain that.
I like it, because I feel like my first client was Chaz, who was my boss at the province. And she always told me, she was like, when you get your license, I'm going to be your first client. I'm like, girl, you lying to me.
Okay.
But she was my first client. And I'm just thinking, like, she was telling me her goals and what she wants and how she wants to raise her son in her home and whatnot. And, like, it took, like, about a month for us to find a home. And I know she was getting stressed out and whatnot. We were going to put an offer into one home, and it was gorgeous. And I knew that offer was going to get accepted because we put, like, 10 or 20 above asking.
Okay.
But then she called me right when I was about to submit it and told me she didn't want to do it anymore because she was crying that it wasn't the home that she wanted to be in. Like, she didn't feel like it was a beautiful home, but it wasn't her home. Like, it's a beautiful house, but not her home. So I'm like, okay, that's okay. Go back to the drawing board. And it's just like, when you're a realtor, you're not just providing a service. You're kind of like a therapist also.
Oh,
Like you're talking to people,
I
you're
can
you're
see
coaching
that.
them through things.
Yeah.
Like you're calming them down, you're giving them advice, and then you just provide them with whatever that they need, whether that be housing or just counseling, like just talking to them, like letting them relax. So
Oh, okay. Now I can
it's
see why you
fun.
be nervous. And you say it's fun. See, like
It
that's
is.
because
Contracts are
that's
fun. Negotiating is fun.
you just said contracts are fun.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's fun.
yes, it's a good thing that you're doing it then, because I'm like, you said terms and conditions to read it. Oh, okay, like
Yeah,
that.
it's just scary because it's like you don't want to ruin somebody's money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dang. Whew. Cause I remember when I first called you, and we were talking about it. I think in this moment I can think about how knowing that you're in it makes me not as nervous because like someone I know is in that realm. So now when I talk to you, it's like, all right, you could probably help alleviate me of my fears because it's like, oh, I'm scared about this or this or this, and you're like, look. So this is what this is. This is that. This is this. This is that. You don't have to be nervous. I get you being nervous, but I understand and I can break it down for you if you
Yeah.
can. Because like I feel like real estate is a space that many, like people are trying to get into now. And I think knowing that you are in that field is like, okay, it's like I know somebody that can help me there. So I think that's you kind of open up a gateway to that.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
yeah, and I think that's a way of giving back. Because like I said, when I was talking to you, it was just cool to see how like to me that's like such a big thing to me. I used to think that you had to be, I don't know, like how old are you, 24?
Yeah, I'm 24.
So I'm like a 24-year-old realtor. So I'm like it seems so much more attainable. It's like you're right next to me and I could talk to you about these things. So I appreciate that, and I'm very sure that other people do, because again, when I think about it, you're the first person I think about now. So if I have questions, I'm gonna want to come to you and then bring business to you, do business with you, because it's like when you have different people in these different areas, it's like, all right, what can we do? Like let's
Right.
get this together. Cool. So and you said that is like your way of giving back. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of become a passion. It's like your passion.
Yeah, I love it. It's like right now I have an investor. We're about to list a house this week. It was a rehab, so we bought it on auction, and I think he bought it for 87,000, and we're gonna list it for around 210. So that's a big. He's
Wow.
making a big profit off
That's
of
a
it. So
that's
we
huge gap there. Yeah.
big gap.
Right.
But we spent the time like redoing the home, putting drywall up, like taking electrical out, new electrical, new plumbing, new flooring. It's just a gorgeous home, and it's in a black area, like a more where you see more African Americans in, and it's like, I don't know, it increases the value in that area as well. So
Yeah. Okay.
you know,
All right. So then, when you're not working so much, what do you do to, like? I feel like I asked you, but like, what are you doing to take care of yourself?
I don't know.
You don't know.
So it's like I get so wrapped up. I'm like, okay, what's next? Like I'll go to sleep thinking like, what's the next thing I have to do?
Wow.
So it's kind of insane, but I don't know. I'm trying to get better at that. That's something I really, really need to work on. So this always been my issue, like since forever.
Of
Trying to figure out like where's my time and where am I gonna just take care of myself and like reenter, like get.
like when
myself
you gonna
together.
finally be like, this is where I need to be, and I'm full-fledged walking in it. Is you kind
Right.
of saying that?
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like I felt like I was in the Philippines for so long, so it's like that was my
Yeah.
relaxation.
Oh, so now you feel like since you're back, you don't have time to do that still.
Right now, I need to just crank everything out and work harder. That's where I feel like I need to be. Because I have a goal of how many houses I want to sell by this year and how many people I want to like touch and network with. So if I want to do that, I can't just be sitting here like, okay, I'm going to go on TikTok and like scroll or like chill. So
Because you sound very like forward thinking and driven. So a question that I've been having recently, and I want to ask you is like, so do you think, I feel like I know your answer, but do you feel like right now in your life you are more so trying to have fun and like enjoy life, or or like build that foundation?
I
Which
don't want to have no fun. I'm just kidding.
yeah.
But so, okay.
Okay.
My friend's birthday was yesterday. And actually, it was Friday, but we went out yesterday. And I was actually supposed to work, but there were so many waitresses there that they didn't need me. So I left, and I'm going to her birthday dinner and going out with her. So I was there. Of course, I have fun, but I do not want to go out. I don't want to go out. I don't want to go to a club. I don't want to drink. I'm on this whole thing where I'm not drinking until my birthday. So that's like 4 months away. I don't want to do any of that. It just sounds so unattractive.
Why?
Because I don't want to.
Do you feel like it's like keeping you from where you need to go?
I just feel like I could do something else. I could read a book. I can do anything. I can get my calendar together for the next day or for the next month and prepare. So why would I go to a club?
Yeah.
And see the same people.
Okay.
Listen to the same music, and then come home and go to sleep and wake up at like 11 a.m. Like that's a late start.
Oh wow.
So
some people think that's early.
That's like I feel like I'm wasting my time. Like I have 24 hours, and it's like, I don't want to do that. And I feel like where I want to be, I can't get to where I want to be doing that same stuff. So
okay.
It's not gonna work.
I'm happy to hear it. I'm not trying to I don't have an agenda of like trying to push you either way. It's just when I hear people say that, I'm like, all right, so some of us are just trying to yes, we want to have fun, but it's like I won't start having fun until certain things are done. It's like once these are done, then I can say, okay, boom, now we can go ahead and celebrate and vibe a little bit because I got something done. It's like if I'm not getting anything done or being productive and how I feel I should be, then what am I here doing?
Yeah, I mean, like the things. Okay, so I guess it's kind of a little self-care. So like the things I like to do is like go to a bar, not an actual bar, like a restaurant, and sit at the bar, and then like be with myself and just. I used to drink. I don't want to drink no more.
Yeah,
It's my birthday, so I would get like a little drink and have a meal, a little appetizer, and then dip. Like that's fun.
So
to me, that's fun.
You said you go out by yourself.
Yeah, it's fun.
Really? You enjoy that?
Yes. You
Why?
just sit there. You're by yourself. You can think to yourself. You can get what you want. Nobody be like, oh, you want to split the bill? You want to do this? Like nobody want to hear all that. Let me sit by myself with my thoughts. Like.
Oh snap! I actually enjoy that a lot too, just because I think like from my relationships, I feel like I would be with whoever I was with a lot, and I think just trying to be more comfortable by myself, like I think that's a very healthy thing that we all need to develop. So trying to be by myself,
for sure,
more often. Like one thing I do. I go to the movies by myself. That's one thing I don't.
That's fun too.
I don't wait on nobody for that because especially with like the Marvel movies and all that. Whenever they come out, I see it because I think around like the last straw, it was something I wanted to go see Spider-Man with all the Spider-Man in it, right? And I think I wanted to see it with a group of people. I wanted to see with some people or whatever. Certain people couldn't go. I'm like, well, I'm not about to wait. Like, I'm going to see it. Yeah, I'm going to see it. So, and this is something that I love to do. Like, I genuinely love movies, whether I'm watching it with someone or not. So, why not do it by myself? So, when I go to the theater, that's like, it's like a release because I'm not there to talk. I'm just there to, it's a form of escapism in a way, but I'm by myself. I'm by myself, and I love that. And then earlier today, like, I got breakfast by myself, and I like those little experiences because I actually think when you're by yourself, it gives you an opportunity to be present. Just be present in the moment. Like I got breakfast by myself, and I saw a mother with her son, like with her child, and that just started making me think about my mama and stuff. Like it just took me places, and I was trying my hardest to be present. Right. It was like I was on my phone, but I was thinking let me just be by myself. Let me just be here in the moment, take it all in. So to hear that you kind of do that for yourself, I like to hear that because I think it's a scary thing to do for a lot of people because some people aren't necessarily comfortable on their own yet, and just the social anxiety, the potential social awkwardness of being out by yourself. But I think the more you practice it, you start to be like, I can go anywhere by myself and have fun, make connections. Like it's you. So if you want to get something done, cool. If you don't, it's like it's all of your decision. It's all your decision compared to like you having a good time and somebody like, yeah, I'm ready to go. It's like, bro, I am networking here. Let me do what I'm doing. Like, let me get this done. So I am happy to hear that you at least take that time for yourself, because you were saying that you work a lot, and as one that recently had 3 jobs, I
Oh, hell no.
completely, I completely get it. But I also had somebody tell me recently, it's like there's beauty in your hustle when you're in it, and I was like, yes, that was what that was. I was in a season where if you ask me to go out, it is easy for me to tell you no because I have to work. I got to be at work. And I'll have my time for that. But as of right now, just let me do what I need to do. So when I hear you doing like everything that you're doing, I get it. But I also understand like the breaks and not wanting, like you need it, but you feel weird taking it.
Right.
Because that's me all the time. Whenever I take a break, I'm like, I sleep. Like, I'll sleep. Like, sleep is a break, right? Okay.
No.
And then when you don't sleep, you're like, okay, nah. It's like, all right, maybe I need to pull back something. But I feel you there. I feel you there for sure. But yeah, I wanted to, kind of talk about some things with you. Oh yeah, so I asked you about modeling. What's up with that? Like, you gonna get into modeling? Because you already know people. Why not?
I mean, I did before. I did it in college, and oh my gosh, what's her name? Candace. I don't know if you know Candace. She had glasses.
Yeah, Candace. Yeah.
Are you sure you know who I'm talking about?
I know Candace. Yes.
Photographer.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. She was the first
creative,
person.
yeah.
She was like, I wanted to message her. I don't know if I did or not. I don't remember. I planned out in my head. I don't know if I actually did, but. She's the reason why I got comfortable modeling. Like, she would ask me, she's like, you want to do a photo shoot? I was like, oh my gosh. Somebody from Penn State asked me, want to do a photo shoot? I was like, oh my God, I don't know. She asked me to do a photo shoot?
Yeah.
She take pictures for free? So, I was so proud and I was so happy. Like, it was just her. It was that turning point that I was like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
So, then I started doing, like, the different shows, like, for Casa that we were in and, like, different walks. Remember that?
Whoa.
Just photography around, like, Kent and then for, like,
snap.
Cleveland. And then, Greg for Provoc.
Yeah.
Did that.
Yeah.
It was fun. So it became an outlet. But it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
it
like,
could be an outlet.
It can.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know. I haven't modeled in a while.
Yeah, because I mean, I just that's something you can get into. So, I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up. And anybody that's like, need models, boom, hit her up. Yeah. But yeah, Hannah, I appreciate you for being a guest on a highlight reel.
Thank you.
Definitely just want to show the people who you are, what you do, and like kind of learn a little bit more about, being a Filipino American, and then also like the realty stuff. Like come on, man, that's important. That's important. I think that again, like as I was saying, you kind of help open up a gateway to more people learn about it, because now they feel like they have access to someone that actually knows, so it makes it feel more real, like realistic, and not as scary. So I appreciate you for that. And are there any last words that you maybe want to say to the audience of the highlight reel?
Well, thank you for inviting me. But if you guys have any questions regarding real estate, whether that be actually getting in real estate, purchasing your first home, getting like appraisal for your home, seeing what you can list it for, or even ideas of financing, or like loan questions, credit repair, just let me know. I'm very open to explain that or even get you connected with the right people. And yeah, it's really important for us African Americans to get in that space.
Yes.
It's like the number one way to make money, passive income. So
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let's go. All right. And again, thank you to the audience of the highlight reel, whether you are listening to this or watching this. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of the highlight reel. I hope that you were able to take something away from it. And that's your episode. Peace out.
bye.